This is a short case on the effectiveness of training. Many people quite often ask the question that whatever training we are getting, is it effective? What is the return on investment of training? Whenever budgets are cut, normally the first thing to be done is to cut the budget of the HR department, and that too particularly for training. Uh, Now this happened a few years ago. This is with a mining company. This particular company had a large number of executives at different levels, top level, middle level, and a large number of workmen. The chairman was very HRD oriented person. So what he did was he sent all the top management for a training program as a part of a three-tier program. The top management was sent to a multinational strategy company. About 20 of them were exposed to a 3-day workshop on strategic thinking, vision, values, future, professional management, and things like that. A few weeks after that, the middle management were sent for a 1-month training program in one of the Indian institutes of management. They spent one full month, and I think for each candidate they paid a couple of lakhs. About 100 of them were exposed across 4 different training programs in a 6-month period. One of the requirements after the training was the candidate would come up with a project and then implement the project. During the same period, with the help of the HRD department, they conducted a program on the journey of life for the workmen. About 3,000 workmen were taken out for a 2-day program. The program was outside the place where they are working, and for 2 days they discussed nothing about work but all about their life, how good they are as parents at their home, how good they are as citizens, and so on. That is what they called as the journey of life. It's a 2-day program, and for each participant I think it cost them something like about 3,000 rupees, including their stay and so on outside. Uh, as soon as all these programs are over, in a year's time the chairman got transferred or shifted actually. The new chairman didn't believe in HRD, and therefore nothing was done for the next 3 years of his term. When the chairman after him came, that is the third chairman, the HR department went to him and said that, look, I think a few years ago we had excellent training program, but all that was stopped. Our executives were very happy at the time. Now they are not happy. So will you please restart the program? So the new chairman said, okay, we will do that, but before I do that, we'll have an audit. That's where we were invited from TVRLS to do an audit of the training that was conducted about 5 years ago. We went there, we talked to all the top level managers, and many of the managers were proud to have been trained by this multinational consultant, because he's a famous consultant across the world. They said that, look, we were trained by them, it was a good training. But when we asked them, do you remember anything, they said that, look, I think they are known for certain theories, and we remember some of these theories, like the 7S theory and things like that. Nothing more than that. The middle level managers, when we asked them about the effectiveness of the 1-month training program, many of them could recapitulate wonderful concepts that they have learned at the IIMs. Almost all of them remembered, some talking about the finance module, some others talking about the marketing module, some others talking about production modules. They said that we were professionally trained. But when we asked them, what has the company got out of your training program, they found it very difficult to say they have got anything out of it. They said, sir, we enjoyed the program. We are not the same people after the program as we were. But if you ask us what exactly we have done, it is difficult to say. I only wish that the chairman continued. If the chairman continued, probably we would have implemented some of our projects and we would have got some benefit to the company. Barring that, we can only say that, look, we are better managers, we think slightly better, and so on. They couldn't put their hand on anything. When we went to the workmen and asked them, the 2-day training program that you had on the journey of life, what did you think? Every single person we contacted said that was a memorable experience in their life. And they said they didn't learn anything about the machines they deal with, the kind of work they do, because the program was not about the work, nothing was talked about the work, but the program was about whether they're being good parents, whether they're being good citizens, how happy they are in their families, how happy they are in their job. Many of them said, "Sir, one thing we discovered, if we are not happy in our work, we will not be happy in the family." So we discovered that it is important to enjoy whatever we were doing, because we found our unhappiness in the family is quite often traced to our work. It's very difficult for us to uh, bring any unhappiness from the family to work, but unhappiness in the work is taken into the family, and therefore we discovered that we need to be better parents, we need to be better citizens. And one of the consequences of all this was, we don't look at the equipment that we're dealing with today the same way as we used to look at before this training program. They said that every 5-minute break we take from this very expensive machine, a dumper which costs probably a crores of rupees, an excavator which costs crores of rupees, and so on. Every few minutes we take off, we feel that we are wasting the our resources, wasting the money of the company, and so on. So we have become more responsible parents, we have become more responsible citizens, we started taking better care of our family, and we also started taking better care of our equipment. He said, "We can't tell you what is the benefit of this program, but this is what we think. Whatever it is for you, you calculate whatever is the kind of, whatever you call as return on investment or benefit of the program and so on. As far as we're concerned, we're not the same." And we have only one complaint. The complaint was, there are about 10,000 workmen in this company, only 3,000 were trained. And very unfortunately, others didn't have this benefit. We shared something with them, but I think that is not enough. If you have to recommend to the top management, we request you to recommend to them to continue this program. When we went back to some of the senior management and asked them, what exactly have you been able to do, one of the managers said, "If you want to calculate return on investment, I will tell you this. This has nothing to do with the training I attended, but one of the middle level managers returned from one of the IIM programs. After he returned from the program, he presented a project on computerization of our material system. He said, if we can computerize the materials management system, we will be able to save quite some money. He presented the project, and I happened to be one of the persons listening to this project on a committee to evaluate these projects. Now, this was about 5 years ago. A year after that, when I got promoted, I took charge of this, and I actually invited some local people and prepared the IT-based materials management system. We have saved, as a result of this, in the last 3 years, almost to the tune of about 4 crores per year for the company. 4 crores per year, this is the savings, sir, I have been able to achieve for this company, all because I have undertaken a project, the project on computerizing the materials management system, for which he acknowledged the source was, and the inspiration he got listening to a candidate who attended IIM program for 4 weeks and was supposed to carry out the project but could not do the project, and his senior picked it up. Another senior said he himself went through, as he was in the earlier rung of the management, the program where I think lots of things were talked about cost savings. He said, when I got promoted, I took charge of I think some of the things that were happening, and measured the entire water management system in our colony, and as a result I am able to save thousands of gallons of water every day. And you can calculate, if you want, how many thousands of gallons of water has been saved, and put, I think, the return to this company and so on. Friends, if you really look at these two examples, one example of saving 4 crores a year for 3 years, if you look at 12 crores. And you can look at the amount of money, if 100 people have been sent to IIM program and 2 lakhs was spent on each one, it is about 2 crores. 2 crores spent on educating 100 people, and about 90 lakhs of rupees spent on educating 3,000 workmen, and maybe another crore spent on educating the top level managers. Just these two examples are giving about 12 crores of return on investment if you really look at it. There are many others who have reported small things if you want to quantify it and things like that. Now I want to ask you, 6 years after the training was given, when we get back to the people and ask each one of them exactly what is it that you have gained, some of them say that it was useful, I can still remember the concepts. Some others pinpoint out and say we don't treat our machines the same way as we used to treat them before the training. And some others demonstrate the amount of savings that they have got to the company as a result of some systems that they have uh, implemented and so on. Now the question for discussion is, how do we measure the expenditure on training or investment on training, return on investment? Under what conditions the training yields results and financial benefits to the company? This is what we need to look at. I think there are many issues involved. In the course on HRD for All, we will be discussing this particular case and looking at how do you determine the training needs, when does the return come from training program, is it long-term building intellectual capital, is it short-term results, and for short-term results how do you uh, measure training and so on. So think about this. We will be using this particular case when we discuss all about the training in the forthcoming session. Thank you for your patient listening to this. All the best and happy learning.